Hi, thanks for joining us. You're watching Health Matters. I'm Renee Rouse with the Florida Department of Health in Martin County. Our mission for this show is to give you important and urgent information that affects the health and safety of you and your family. The holidays are a wonderful time to get together with friends and family, and many of these get-togethers will center around a table of food. It's important to remember to be safe when handling food to ensure that you have a happy holiday gathering. In this episode's big story, we'll discuss ways to stay safe while handling and serving food at your party. Also, during this time of year, it's important to remember to take extra precautions to prevent colds and flu. Bacteria and viruses seem to be more common in the winter months, even in sunny Florida. So we'll show you what you can do to protect yourself in this episode's health calendar. And finally, in our Health Spotlight segment, we'll look at a program led by a nurse program specialist that's helping children and families learn how to cook fresh and eat healthy. But first, I recently sat down with Angeline DeWald. She's an environmental health specialist with the Florida Department of Health. Angeline has studied foodborne illnesses for years and shares with us some tips about how to stay safe in the kitchen and around the table this holiday season. What are some of the top things that people should keep in mind when they're having a holiday gathering and putting out a buffet?
Well, when you mention buffet, the first thing that comes to my mind is keeping things in the proper temperature. The biggest problem with buffets, whether it's in a restaurant or whether it's in your own Christmas Eve party, is people will prepare a big amount of food to serve everyone they expect to come, and they'll put it all out at once. And what happens is people nibble on it, it gets eaten down, but a lot of the food will not be in temperature. And when I say in temperature, if it's a cold item, it's supposed to be kept at 40 degrees or less. That's pretty much what your refrigerator is. If it's a hot item, it's 140 or greater. Put out small amounts. Your guests are going to appreciate it because it's always going to have that kind of freshness. Probably the number one thing is washing your hands. If you're going to be handling something that's going to be eaten without being cooked, we recommend that you use gloves because hand washing is usually pretty incomplete. And in my home, maybe the dog walks by and I pet the dog, or the kid walks by and I ruffle his hair when he walks by, and I'm not thinking, oh, I need to go wash my hands again. Without gloves, just washing your hands a lot. Every time you change from one product to another, wash your hands. So if you're working on the turkey here and you're going to go slice the bananas for the banana pudding, wash your hands in between. If you have a little bit of leftovers and it's been sitting out, you're probably doing yourself and your family a favor to throw it away, because leftovers which have been out of temperature too long can be something that can introduce getting sick. When in doubt, throw it out.
Great tips, Angeline. Thanks. Well, it's that time of year again where you may go to work and half the people are out sick, or you may answer the phone to find out that your child is sick at school. During the winter months, we find ourselves bombarded with germs and viruses, but there are several easy things that you can do to protect yourself. First and most important is to wash your hands often. We touch so many surfaces during our day that it's impossible not to pick up some germs. The best way to block those potential troublemakers is to scrub your hands with soap often. If soap and water are not available, then using an antibacterial hand sanitizer is a good idea.
Well, I carry it in my purse and have it with me all times. So if you don't have water, that's the next best thing to do is get your hand sanitizer.
Be sure to also cover your mouth and nose when you cough and sneeze. Germs can spread very quickly through the air if a sneeze is not covered.
And make sure that if you're going to sneeze or cough, you do what's called like the vampire, and you cover your mouth so that their germs aren't going all over the place and affecting other people.
If you're feeling ill, it's best to stay home. Germs are spread by an infected person passing them on to somebody else. It's best not to risk getting others sick, so just stay home until you're feeling better. As a rule, it's a good idea to exercise often and eat nutritious foods. But during flu season, it's even more important, as those activities will help you fend off many of those unwanted bugs. And finally, get the flu vaccine. Germs are everywhere, but vaccines can help protect you from disease. The flu vaccine, either in shot form or nasal mist, is available in many places in the community, including pharmacies and even grocery stores.
The vaccine is made with 4 different viruses that they expect to be here, but as you know, there's many viruses out there, and at any time another virus could go ahead and hit you. But at least you know with the vaccine, you've done the best you can to protect yourself.
The Florida Department of Health in Martin County is reminding folks about those simple ways to stay healthy in a creative way. They just created these clever static clings that attach to mirrors. The cling has colorful prevention messages and is turning up in places throughout the county. You may find them on a mirror near you soon. If you're interested in learning more about staying healthy during the holidays, log on to martincountyhealth.com. And now on to our final segment we like to call Health Spotlight. There are many people doing many great things in our county, but one person in particular is making a big difference in a part of the county that doesn't get as much attention as the others. As Bob Hoganson shows us, Nurse Mary Beth Pena is leading families to healthier lives in Indiantown.
Right, you put it in the pan and then you add your vegetables to cook it a little bit.
Chopping, slicing, and squeezing.
Awesome, good job.
At the Lottie Library in Indiantown, it's all about learning while doing.
And what I do is I teach kids how to cook. I teach them about how to incorporate more fruits and vegetables in their diet. We talk about healthy eating. So you take a little tiny bit of juice and you add spritzer or seltzer water.
Nurse Program Specialist Mary Beth Pena with the Florida Department of Health in Martin County meets with these school children once a month and teaches the basics of good nutrition and living a healthy lifestyle.
And try to give them tools to help achieve the goals of healthy living by eating well, by exercising.
It's all part of the Healthiest Weight Initiative, created by the Florida Department of Health. The initiative was started in response to a rise in obesity rates, a particular problem here in Indiantown.
The focus in Indiantown is because of the health disparities that exist here, and we have a high incidence of childhood obesity, much higher than in the rest of the county.
A big reason for the disparity? It turns out it has a lot to do with where you're from. And 64% of the people that live in Indiantown are from other cultures.
Because if you come to the United States and you start eating our Western fast food, high fat, high salt, high sugar diet, you're going to be moving away from your rich food culture and you're going to be moving into Western diseases like diabetes and heart disease.
The facts are staggering. 65% of Floridians are at an unhealthy weight. In Martin County, more than 30% of school-age children are overweight or obese. That rate is higher in Indiantown.
And kind of mix it around a little bit like that in the pan, okay?
That's why today, Mary Beth is giving her students a hands-on, exciting, and fun learning experience while making a delicious and healthy meal.
They'll be enjoying the meal together, and then we're going to be painting buckets. Out of the bucket, they'll take the bucket, they'll come over to our farmers market that we have set up, and they'll be filling their buckets with fruits and vegetables, and then they'll be able to carry their buckets home and share the bounty with their family, and then encourage their parents to cook in the kitchen with them and enjoy those healthy foods that they're bringing home.
Not only are the consequences severe for being unhealthy and overweight, it's estimated that the care for chronic diseases from obesity will reach $34 billion in the next 17 years. But there is hope. Through outreach programs like this, Mary Beth hopes the tides will change.
The studies have shown that kids that are incorporating cooking, their parents are teaching them how to cook, they're eating meals at home, they're eating as families, are more likely to eat healthfully, they're more likely to try new things.
And it's not just kids that get time with Mary Beth.
So we're looking at improving this recipe by taking the regular flour and the whole wheat flour.
She also offers classes for adults. These women, already accomplished in the kitchen, are being taught how to adapt ingredients in their favorite dishes to a more healthy alternative. She focuses on the importance of label reading, portion size, and food diversity. teaching the 5210 plan, which encourages healthy eating, physical activity, and less sugary drinks. She says it's really all about sharing information so that kids and adults can make informed decisions about their lifestyle choices. And so far, more than 1,500 children and adults have taken part in the programs.
Type 2 diabetes is preventable. A lot of types of heart disease, hypertension is preventable, and we want to give people the tools that they can achieve better health and wellness and prevent those chronic diseases through healthy living.
Thanks for that report, Bob. It's great to see so many good things going on in Indiantown. Well, it's been a packed show. Here's a recap of what we covered in this edition of Health Matters. Our big story focused on food safety tips for the holiday season. Remember to clean, separate, cook, and chill. In Health Calendar, we shared ways for you to stay safe during flu season. Remember to cover your cough and sneeze and wash your hands often. And get a flu shot. And finally, in our Health Spotlight segment, we introduced you to some healthy happenings in Indiantown, a program led by a health department nurse that encourages good nutrition and healthy lifestyles. We thank you for joining us for this episode of Health Matters. We'll see you again soon. I'm Renee Rouse.